Bernese Pauahi bishop's great-grandfather was Kamehameha the Great. It was prophesied before he was born that there'd be one who would unite the islands. And the other mo'i were a bit afraid of who that was. While Kamehameha the Great was born, he was quickly hidden away and whisked off to another area where no one could find him. His name at that point was Paea, or hard-shelled crab. Such as a crab hides among the rocks, so did Paea hide from his enemies. That is the name in this building, Paea. When Kamehameha the Great was born, it was said that he was born of Polua, of two heads or two fathers. His mother was Keikui ʻAʻapueo Liliha. And who are the two fathers? According to Maui tradition, Kaikili. According to other traditions, it's Kua. Kaikili, which means God of thunder, was one of those who was a strong, talented warrior for Maui Nui. He was also later on became one of Kamehameha's warriors that stood by his side and fought with him. Kamehameha the Great had 3 children with his most powerful wife, Keʻapuolani. They are Liholiho, Kauikeoli, and Nahi'enena. Those are the names of our elementary classroom buildings. Liholiho, which is the middle building, or Kamehameha II, Kauikeoli, which is this first building here, which is Kamehameha III, and then his own daughter, Nahi'enena, which is classroom at the end. Our elementary dining hall is named after Namahana. She hails from Hana, and 2 of her daughters, Ka'ahumanu and Kehehemalie, were Kamehameha's wives. When Kamehameha the Great died, he chose 2 of his closest advisors to be the ones to bury him. And there was a practice back in the day that if you were the one who buried the remains of the li'i, you'd have to kill yourself as well to keep that location hidden from all others. But Kamehameha the Great told these 2 individuals, Ho'opili and Ho'olulu, don't kill yourself. I want you to stay alive and to care for my sons and to be advisors to them. So that's what happened. Ho'opili, which is the name of this complex here, remained and became advisors to Liholiho and Kauikeoli. He also married Keʻapuolani, Kamehameha's most sacred wife, and upon her death, also took care of another of Kamehameha's wives, Kehehemalie. Right across the street from our complex known as Ho'opili is another set of buildings called Ho'olulu. Again, they were brothers and close advisors to Kamehameha the Great. They were the ones who buried his remains and stayed alive to be as advisors to his sons. When Western learning came into the islands, many of the li'i were willing to get deeper into it. Kuakini was known as one of the most learned men of the kingdom. He was a great leader. He was a warrior who fought alongside of Kamehameha. He was the son of Namahana and Ke'omokupa'apa'iahiahi, and the brother of Kehehemalie and Ka'ahumanu. This building is named after him. Kamehameha the Great had many wives. 2 of them, for whom these buildings are named after, were Ka'ahumanu and Kehehemalie, both hailing from Hana. Ka'ahumanu was Kamehameha's most favorite wife. She was the Hanai mother of Liholiho. Shortly after Pauahi was born, she was Hanai to Kina'u. Pake'akūnia were quite sad about this, wanting to have a child within the household, so they Hanai'd Lili'u. After Kina'u's passing, Lili'u and Pauahi lived together for just a wee bit before they went to the royal school for chief's children. Upon Kalakau's ascension to the throne, Lili'u's name got changed to Lili'uokalani. Known for writing music and for being a wise woman, she was quite revered. She was Hawaii's last remaining monarch. We all know that Pauahi was Kamehameha's last remaining heir. As such, she got his estate. But did you know that she got the bulk of her estate from another person? It was actually her aunt, Keaunalani, which is what this building is named, who was also known as Keaunalani and Princess Ruth. It was through that she was able to become the largest landowner in the Kingdom of Hawaii. Keʻapuolani was born to high chiefs Kivala'o and Keikui ʻAʻapueo Liliha. It was because of this high rank that she became of the highest rank possible, of niaupio rank. So when Kamehameha the Great married her, she became his most powerful wife. So great was her power that even if her shadow touched you, you'll be put to death. This building, our auditorium, is named after Kahu Kalani. To honor our founder, Bernice Pauahi Bishop, this building was named Pauahi Lani to recognize that she is the po'o of our school. In fact, all of our administration buildings across our 3 campuses are named after her in some form or another, all Pauahi. Charles Ray Bishop grew up in Glens Falls, New York. He and his friend William Little Lee decided to venture out to Oregon in order to find new futures. As they made their way across the Pacific, they stopped in Hawaii and got supplies for the ship. However, they decided to stay in the islands. While visiting the local ali'i, the young woman caught the eye of Charles Ray Bishop, our own Bernice Pauahi. Their relationship budded, even though it was without the blessings of her parents. In fact, they weren't there at her wedding. But in time, they began to trust him and see him as someone who truly loved their daughter. Our Learning Center is named after Charles Reed Bishop. These 2 classroom buildings behind me are named after very notable ali'i. On this side, we have Kamalala Walu, whose father was Kiha Pi'ilani, whose grandfather was Pi'ilani. Very key people who ruled during the 1600s. In fact, Kamalala Walu was such a well-liked ali'i that Maui is known as Maui Nui a Kama. This side of the building is named after Kalani Kupule, who happens to be the son of Kahikili. Guess who he's the half-brother of? Kamehameha. Those 2 individuals, Kalani Kupule and Kamehameha, had their battle up at Kipaniwai. Our Princess Bernice Pauahi Bishop was born to Lauri Kunia and Abner Paki. It is through Lauri Kunia that we trace the lineage from Kamehameha the Great to Pauahi. Ku'ulahea Nui Okamoku had a son, name was Kekalike. He also had a daughter, Kekui'aʻaʻapueo Nui. Names of our buildings here behind us. Kekalike was the father of Kahikili. You've heard of that before, right? Kahikili was the father of Kamehameha the Great, as well as Kalani Kupule. Ke'omoku Pa'apayahiahe was one of those warriors who fought closely alongside of Kamehameha the Great. That is the name of our dining hall. In fact, our dining halls are named after his ohana. Namahana, which is our elementary dining hall, and Kuakini, which is our middle school dining hall. The wealth of an ali'i is often seen in the vastness of their lands. Such was Pi'ilani. We know the highway that leads us to Lahaina is Honoa Pi'ilani, or the bays of Pi'ilani. Talk about the numerous areas that he owned. This pool is named after Pi'ilani. One of our great leaders in the past was Ku'ulahea Nui Okamoku, the name of our gym and the shower facilities. Through his lineage, we come up with Kamehameha. Kamehameha the Great, in order to become that great conqueror that he was, he needed somebody to train him the art of war. And that was his teacher, Kanaiaupuni. That soon became his name as well. It means the conqueror. This stadium is named after Kanaiaupuni.